It is, so some names you should definitely recognize. And we have something very interesting going on in the draft, so I'll go ahead and welcome in my co-caster. Nahaz going to be joining me to breaking down what the hell is happening here.
What?
Mappo. It's a
That's my
Mappo night,
breakdown.
man. It's a Mappo night.
It obviously is. Root were obviously watching the last series and said to themselves, my God, Meepo OP, I better pick it third because it might not be around for me to pick last in the draft. Root, though, seriously, you know what? I've seen them do this before, and I almost feel like they're at their best when they just pull out a completely strange draft. I was doing a game of theirs the other night where they drafted Night Stalker and Templar Assassin as their last two picks. And actually, watching some of the replays, so your boy JC is not playing for them. That kind of sucks. But anyway, they basically drafted the all-time diving lineup. I mean, it was kind of like, you've got towers? That's cute. We'll bury you beneath them. And they just dove and dove and dove and won the game. It was crazy. Now, I don't see them doing that here with the Meepo. They do have, I guess, a defense in place to protect him in the early game. And it's kind of hard because, you know, you're not necessarily coming into this as Pandago expecting, okay, I need to worry about how to counter a Meepo. But yeah, that's the problem. There are a lot of heroes in the pool that do counter Meepo. You don't necessarily have to plan for it. But I'm telling you, I would not be surprised if Root pulls something totally off the wall here with their fifth pick, because I feel like this is just when they're at their best. When they pull out some of these kind of niche strats, these pocket drafts, and just go YOLO it and go ham in the first 10 minutes of the game.
Seconds remaining.
Well, we're going to see whether or not this... I mean, the Meepo... that's the sound of just...
Time.
Yeah,
I don't know about this one at all, but we'll see what happens. Gerg squad have drafted themselves a full-out team fight lineup, though. Between a Tidehunter and the Centaur being on the same team, we're going to have a one-position Centaur for this game, boys.
Yeah, and that's kind of the thing to me. Two big ways to do it. Meepo, of course. Number one, the large single target damage, your Linas, your Lions, what have you. But number two, maybe even better, is AOE, because okay, fine, you're gonna take damage on one of your clones and you're gonna run the rest away. Well, that doesn't really help when all of them are taking damage from every spell. I just think Meepo is gonna have a hard time living through anything in this match that Gerg squad can initiate. I mean, I'm trying to look at this and I'm counting the different ways that Gerg can initiate a fight here and asking myself whether Meepo can live through any of them. And I'm not coming up with anything too terribly deep.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Root Gaming, well, hopefully they're going to be able to pull a lot out with their supports, but what are you banking on here support-wise? Because we've got three different heroes, all who can be run as support or core. The Mirana, Wraith King, as well as the Jakiro.
Well, I mean, I think you've got to ask yourself who is going to be the best at protecting Meepo in lane, and I want to see the Jakiro as a core because I think their best chance at creating space on the map is with the Mirana Wraith King duo, and they do draft a decent fifth hero in the puck. He's capable of getting in there and disrupting that Gerg squad team fight lineup, but again, Puck can run into trouble when the other team has multiple AoEs and multiple silences. I mean, it's great to be able to get in and out. It's great to be able to use that waning rift, but at the end of the day, you know, it's only a 400 radius on that ability, and any of these heroes that he misses could potentially just blow him up if he tries to initiate a team fight 1 on 3 or 4 like a Puck likes to do.
So the last pickup for Gerg squad, they just need another support, presuming that we're going to be seeing a one-position Centaur. Some to go with the Skywrath Mage, some sort of good disables versus the Meepo would also be helpful. The Silence is really good versus Meepo, but they could take a little bit of extra. Puck, I mean, looking at this Root Gaming lineup, I'm feeling like, you know, they do have enough early game. They stage a really good roaming combination here. With, I mean, that's the problem, though, is they keep going back to the Jakiro and going, unless it's a one-position Jakiro, you don't actually have that strong roaming positions. Unless it's going to be to support Mirana.
The more I look at this lineup, it's got to be a core Jakiro simply because I don't think a support Jakiro can get anything done in the early phases of this game. And they desperately need some kind of pressure around the map just to avoid this Meepo just getting chain picked on in lane. What do you think about the Visage fifth pick? Now, Beat is actually, Blinded by the Gerg, everybody's favorite track by Gergfried Gerg. Beat is actually a really good Visage player, so I don't necessarily mind this. I don't necessarily see the synergy, though.
So I do like the high amount of. I mean, I would prefer to see some sort of disables, but I mean, the birds come in, they're swiping at extra disable, but they also have the high amount of single target damage from the Visage, being able to just try and lay into one of those Meepos or pop the Puck or pop the Mirana real quickly early on into a team fight. I think the Visage is one of those heroes that can capitalize off of a Tidehunter or a Centaur initiation really well.
5 seconds remaining.
Yeah, okay. No, that makes sense. And that's the thing. I mean, there just aren't that many players out there anymore that I see play Visage regularly that are really good. I actually kind of miss that hero because, of course. Of course. And love comes out.
Gerg luck have Gerg.
Wow.
Beat is, please.
Beat is going ham as usual.
This is by far the most interesting team to cast.
Yeah.
In this ESL One America qualifier, but well,
I love your finishing school use of interesting there. That's great.
Yeah.
Now, I mean.
It's been an interesting night.
It is going to it is going to be a core Mirana. It looks like, unfortunately, because Flying Zebra is generally one of their supports. Tubby the Fat is generally not. So, boy, it looks like you might have an off-lane Mirana here, which, yikes. I don't know. To me. And again, it really is all about what individual players are comfortable with. For all we talk about core Jakiro and we talk about new meta this, new meta that, if you don't have a core player comfortable with playing Jakiro in that role, then don't pick it and don't play it there. The big thing is, I really do feel like without that Jakiro as a core, I don't know that a support Jakiro can have an impact in the game at the time that they're really going to need him to.
I don't want to see Bangfish on a support. I'll just throw that out right there. I think Bangfish is actually a really good player. He's a stand-in for Root right now. I've played with him a number of times. He's a pretty damn good player. I would much prefer to see him on a carry position or a core position. So
maybe they change it up because, again, I was sort of assuming that we'd see your boy JC, he of the roaming 4-position Night Stalker here playing with Root. And maybe because, I mean, it's crazy, but it's so freaking fun to watch, right? And I'm one of those people that, like, I just am dying to see Night Stalker have a good game at the competitive level anymore because I feel like after they tweaked the day-night cycle, nobody really sort of figured out how to optimize Night Stalker in a high-level game, and he kind of got given up on. Right, even though S4 was having some decent results as a Night Stalker, but then again, that was when Alliance was still beating everybody. But yeah, I am hoping, and no. Look, he's already bought wards. He's got a smoke, so it looks like this is going to be a support Jakiro.
Yep, and on one position, Mirana, which I'm not a big fan of because they have no rotational power whatsoever. I mean, the Wraith King is nice, but you want to be able to combine it with something, and I'm not convinced that Jakiro is really going to be enough. So I see this lane kind of just being very static in nature. They may be able to kill Demon a bunch, and that is the one thing, is the Tidehunter is going to have a pretty tough time here in this off lane due to all the single target power from this tri lane. But in general, I think that the laning phase is going to go quite well for Team Gerg, just solely because of the fact that they have a mid-position Death Prophet who's going to be able to get a lot of farm out of it.
Yeah, they have a mid position. They have MSS, who very, very good mid player against a mid Meepo. She is going to crush this lane 1v1. And yeah, as you said, I mean, Flying Zebra can do something coming in on that rotating Wraith King, but but Bangfish really does need a couple levels in the jungle before he can effectively rotate at all. So you're going to have some margin here, at least for the first couple of minutes, where this Death Prophet is probably pretty much going to be 1v1 against the Meepo, and that is bad news for your start if you're Lycus.
I'm finding a way to be able to zoom in on the current picture. I have no way to be able to zoom in on the picture on the ground, unfortunately, just the flags. But
follow
all right.
at What Is Shit TV on Twitter, kids. Anyway.
So we're probably going to see a lot of rotations into this mid lane. And in fact, you may even see just Dago outright zoning the Meepo out at level 1. The Skywrath Mage is actually really good support for the mid lane because he's able to harass the enemy hero without actually drawing creep aggro through his constant spam of Zanuck. So if you wanted to spend some time in the middle lane and just try and force his out consistently, I think that'd be a great way. Either that or go for the early gank and don't let this Meepo get level 3 for free.
Yeah, I mean, all the same though, I feel like MSS is a good enough player that he's going to be able to hold Lycus down on his own. He's not necessarily going to need help. I mean, I don't necessarily know that you want to have a hero hanging out there until you're ready to make a kill on this Meepo, which should be pretty soon anyway. And remember, I mean, I'm going to sound like a broken record here, but you know, all else equal in a static laning phase, the advantage is almost always going to go to the Radiant side. And
what did you do, Demon? Anchor Smash might actually be able to save him. He hit all 3 of them with the Anchor Smash. The Liquid Fire. Oh, Tango saves. It's going to be the Tango eating away that Liquid Fire. They all grouped up for that Anchor Smash, and they all did no damage to Demon because of that. He really shouldn't have been caught out there. That was like he had the ward vision to be able to see the Wraith King coming over.
Right.
So he knew exactly what was going to be happening, and he was still just barely inside of the range of that Wraith Fire Blast. And now he's actually in a really good position. He's actually just forcing away the Jakiro by himself and challenging these supports so actively. I'm not sure if it's maybe a little bit too actively here, as he's going to rotate up to the left side, trying to teleport himself away. All right, that's one way to get back. He was definitely caught there, but quick little TP scroll will be able to get him out.
Yeah, and that's the wonderful thing about Jimmy is that he's going to play how he's going to play, and he's continued to play this way, play super aggressive, and you know, it feels like, okay, well, he gives up a lot of kills, but he makes a lot of plays, and I don't mind it at all. I still, you know, I look forward to watching him. He's a fun player, and I think he's better at the game than I think a lot of people give him credit for, honestly.
Certainly. Puck may be caught out here. They did go for the early level silence. Going to catch him out here with the slow and a lot of right-click damage. Phase shift barely going off. Now the whole last hit. Bandago will be able to get it there. That was actually quite close. If that nuke landed from the Visage, she was done for guaranteed. But that last second phase shift from the Puck almost managed to save him there.
Yeah, but I mean, you just see the little differences in execution. Both offlaners put themselves in a position where they're very vulnerable in the early game. And as you said, it's Root that make the mistake, grouping up too much, getting hit 3 by that Anchor Smash, and Gerg that are able, I just can't say that without cringing, Gerg that are able to execute here. We are going to have a smoke rotation from the Wraith King and the Jakiro. Bangfish, unfortunately, still at level 2, has Liquid Fire, hasn't spent his second skill point, which is a good decision, but I doubt he's going to be able to catch out MSS here.
Yeah, I mean, even if they do, I'm not... Well, with the second level here, the Meepo does have the second Meepo. Yeah, second Meepo. Meepo has Meepo. Stun, and they're going to be diving in deep into the tower for this one. First Snake goes down. MSS turns around, lays down as much damage as he can. Second Root goes down. Lyke is actually going to be losing his life here. MSS right-clicks him down. Bangfish also going to fall. Double kill for MSS, and I'm sure he's got a few choice words for that attempted gank on him.
Well, I mean, yeah, his choice words are thanks. I mean, I just don't understand why you try and rotate with the Jakiro at level 2 there. I understand that there's some pressure on you to get something done, but you know, you've got to understand this is not. I mean, MSS is a legit player. That's not the kind of gank that you try on a player of his caliber, in my opinion.
And for those of you guys who want to know what the choice words were, we do have youtube.com/joindota+. There's a great little video called Mouse Sports Sounds of Victory, which we recorded, which is of Mouse Sports at DreamHack, recorded by myself, and MSS had some choice words to say about the enemy team might have rhymed with bucking idiots. So.
NSFW tag, huh? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. No problem. No problem.
Oh boy. Demon's
Yeah,
getting a lot out of this. I mean, ever since he was
really
able to
is.
survive through those first couple of ganks and then the rotation into the middle lane where they actually gave away double kill, Demon's just able to play super aggressively up against the Mirana and get, a couple of CS, but the full thing is that full amount of experience for him.
Yeah, although that said, Tolerant not doing a bad job down here, halfway through level 4 himself after giving up that first blood. It's not a bad outcome for him. Although what I really worry about is, again, these supports for Root are going to have a hard time here. Jakiro still level 2, full level behind, over a level behind, really, the Skywrath and the Visage, who's already hit level 4. Under-leveled supports, I mean, we've talked so many times recently how they can really hurt you so much earlier into the game than previously. And that, to me, is why some of the Western teams have continued to struggle here. The Chinese teams, I thought, picked up really, really early on the importance of supports in this version, and to some extent had always played that way. But some of the Western teams, I feel like, still don't understand how dangerous it is, even very early on, to have your supports fall behind in levels. And that said, Bangfish is back in the jungle trying to catch up a little bit here in this match.
Well, he's going to have a long road to catch up because they may actually feed the supports level 6 here. We've got MSS, who's got his level 3 Crypt Swarm, and we've got 2 different very, very large stacks, which Demon is going to be popping with his Anchor Smash. Thought maybe they would give one of them to MSS, but it looks like they may be prioritizing that fast Blink Dagger instead, which does make sense, seeing as MSS is already kind of fed as all hell with that double kill he got from earlier. But I would love to see them split some of this experience with the supports and get a fast Skywrath Mage, Mystic Flare, or a Visage Familiars up.
Yeah, but at the same time, you can see that they're rotating Pandago here up to the top lane to get some solo XP, which he should be fairly safe to do against the Mirana. Nice team rotation here. Like the bottle on Demon as a solution for mana regen as an alternative to the Arcane Boots. He's probably going to go straight to his Blink Dagger from here. And I feel like they're set up nicely to do what they need to do. They're going to have a Blink here on Blueberry here at about, remind me again who's Blue?
Bleak.
Okay, that's Bleak. They're going to have you a Blink here on Bleak and another 400 gold. Pandago does need an arrow there. His top's going to be going down.
Yep, right-click down by Tubby the Fat, and at least they get themselves on the board as Mirana fed a little bit of extra gold here in this top lane. The one position Mirana, always questionable how strong it actually is going to be for you. It very much comes down to player performance and whether or not you're able to land those arrows and how big of an impact you have going into the mid-game. Root, meanwhile, has stacked up a little bit, and they actually now bumping Meepo up to level 8. Initiation on the bottom lane. They're going to go and pop the puck real quickly with the rotation around. That silence just being a puck killer right there. So tough for a puck to make the off-lane work up against the Skywrath Mage. I mean, many other disables you can deal with fine, but the Skywrath Mage is one of the ultimate disables against him.
Yeah, and that's kind of the thing that Puck, to me, very, very good offlaners, had a lot of success in that role, but this is the point in the match where you need to see this Puck making some progress toward his Blink. And Talera sitting on 500 gold is really a very, very long way off and is extremely vulnerable now that Bleak has the Blink on his Centaur at 8 minutes into the game. Yikes.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy stuff. Meepo, I think, is going to be the only real big hope here for Root Gaming. They've fed him quite a bit, but he still needs a lot of time to be able to farm up his Aghanims as well as the Blink Dagger. And his farm does accelerate once he's able to finish up the Aghs at least, so it may seem like he's farming a little bit slow, but he'll definitely start exploding as he gets the third and fourth Meepos. But I'm thinking like Gerg are going to be able to get a good solid 5, possibly even 10 minutes, depending on these fights go, of pushing it with MS.
That's too much. And we've talked about this in the last match, that Meepo's biggest vulnerability to me is that he loses his towers before he gets that Blink or whatever item he chooses to go next up. Because, Meepo, for all his ability to farm all around the map, he needs space to make that happen. If you hem him in, so much of the potential of the hero is just wasted.
Demon actually still choosing to go for the Arcane Boots, and they will be splitting this stack. Yeah, I was kind of with you. I thought it'd be like, okay, if he's going for a bottle, he probably isn't going to be going for Arcanes and straight into that Blink Dagger. But apparently he still gets it, and they will split the stack between the two of them, MSS and Demon. MSS gets very, very big off of that one. He can pick himself up a really fast set of drums. In fact, he already has it flying out to him. So phase boost drums already being picked up. It's going to be hell for this Meepo to try and land it and snare on him without some sort of setup stuns. And those setup stuns really just are not there. The only instant one they truly have is Dream Coil. And that is obviously a bit of a mini stun and not really that reliable.
Yeah, and perhaps even scarier than that is the idea that this Death Prophet, MSS is going to have his level 2 exorcism here in another couple of minutes. And, you know, Meepo is level 9, and Meepo's going to level quickly. But that level 2 exorcism around the 13-minute mark, if he's able to get there, I mean, that's just all your towers dead. It's hard for me to see what they're going to do to defend against that kind of a push this early on with the lineup that they have.
Like how they're giving some room for the Visage to be able to farm up, and with that Centaur grabbing the very, very early Blink Dagger, they're going to rotate him to the top lane right next to the Skywrath Mage, and they're going to go for a big pickoff here. And Initiation Stampede going off, already silence onto Tubby, and that'll be a free kill for them, as now they can actually push out this top lane a little bit. And Demon, well, just Jimmy things. They needed a 2-minute pause for him to do some push-ups, and now after that kill, he's got to do some crunches.
Yeah, man, you got to work on those guns. I'm telling you. What would the ladies think?
So 5-1, 11 minutes in, 2,500 net worth, and about a 2,500 experience lead as well for the Gerg squad. And most of it is on MSS. He's sitting at 5,000 net worth. He's a good 1,000 ahead of this Meepo, who's also been fed quite a lot here.
And that, unlike a lot of lineups, you know, the Centaur is nominally the one position here. But you know, if you gave me this Gerg squad lineup and asked me who would I like to have my farm advantage on, it would be MSS's Death Prophet at this point in the game. She gets a Yule's up, and it is going to be very, very difficult for them to do anything important to her. Again, you know, Lycus's Meepo is definitely the great hope for their team at this point, but he has a long way to go yet.
All right, Demon coming back in just a second.
There we go.
And apparently Demon has some sort of bug. All right. Odd.
Yeah.
Don't. Demon's like, yeah, whatever. I don't need to see animations or anything. It's cool. It's cool. It'll just play without man moding it up. I like it.
So how do you, I mean, I'm trying to think of how do you respond here as Root? Because, boy, things are looking awfully bleak. Level 6 on the Jakiro means a lot less than level 6 on the supports of Gerg squad. Talera is still only 500 gold toward that Blink Dagger. That's just painful. And they looks like they might try Moonlight Shadow Initiation here, but I don't see anything coming to this.
I think their opportunity was them going for a fight here and trying to use this Mirana because she's so powerful in some of these early mid-game engagements, because you've got those maxed out nukes of both the Arrow as well as the Starstorm. I think it's going for some of these engagements, but they just kind of tipped their hand with that Moonlight Shadow being spotted out by Demon.
Ugh.
And he's actually going to pop an Invis
They're in
room.
trouble here.
Yeah, he's going to be able to find somebody. May just commit the full Ravage just for a puck. Decides against it. And the rest of the team not able to find an opening. Maybe a little wrap around behind middle lane. Still actually finding. This time they will use the Ravage on puck. Take him out with that silence. And, well, their sneaky gank around middle is going to be kind of scouted out by that one. But they may still be able to take this tier 1 tower. Definitely will be able to, as it looks like Root are going to abandon the lane, leaving it open for MSS to take down with that level 2 exorcism.
Yeah, and again, you can see how down bottom here they're desperately trying to get Bangfish up to the point where he can contribute something to this match. I mean, we said in the draft that we thought that the support Jakiro was a bit of a mistake. They are going to rotate in behind Beat here, maybe get a kill.
Yeah, they're already getting the stun up on Jakiro, taking him down, and Beat will get a little bit low, but will be just fine. And Root, the rotation not really working out for them. The Meepo is going to go right back to jungling in the meantime.
Yeah, I mean, Root doesn't really have a lineup that can 5-man at this point. Not really at all. Boy, oh boy, I have a hard time seeing a path for them to come back into this game.
Especially with the Rabbit or the Blink Dagger that's going to be coming out for Jimmy here in just a little bit. In fact, he can farm up this Ancient stack. It'll probably give him the Blink Dagger, or at least really close to it. And Root Gaming, I mean, they just couldn't afford to let the early game go against them, and because they
Right,
did,
that's
they're
exactly
having
right.
a hard time to be able to actually fight these mid-game engagements. They, like, especially the Blink Dagger, for me, is what determines it all. Like, the Blink Dagger on Centaur was going to happen eventually, but the fact that Demon's having so much room to be able to work around, that this means the Exorcism is not only going to be extremely powerful in these team fights, or in these push-ups, but also in the team fights, thanks to that AoE disable.
Yeah, and really, to me, Puck is a lot more reliant on a Blink to just be functional as a hero than is the Tidehunter. I mean, obviously, Blink is a great item on Tide. You want it, but you don't necessarily have to have it to have an impact on the game. Puck really has to have a timely Blink Dagger, or he just gets into a position in the game where he can't do anything. And really, you've got two heroes now, Bangfish's Jakiro and Tolera's Puck. I mean, it's not necessarily their fault, but they're not really contributing anything at this point.
The Moonlight Shadow's going to go out. They're going to try and pick off Beatus here. They see him for a second. Dream
Nice
Call goes
sentry.
out. Familiar drops. Will be able to stun up Lycus a little bit longer. And Beatus is actually going to be able to turn a little bit of damage around on the Puck. Maybe regretting that one soon. No, the Meepo actually gets himself away. And now the Puck is going to have to orb himself out. Silence. Beautiful play there from MSS. Very well timed. They get that one kill, and we'll be able to get a secondary one. As
Might be
Bangfish
giving up Bangfish up top.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Locked into a corner. Tier 1 tower also going to fall back at the bottom lane.
Are fortified.
And that's a nice play actually by Pandego. I was watching the action top there that he dropped his sentry ward the minute Moonlight Shadow was popped. Didn't give away that they necessarily had vision and was able to turn that engagement on top because of it. So Gerg winning fights in 2 lanes now.
I'm looking good. Meanwhile, I just keep on bouncing back to the Meepo, who is about to get the Aghanims. Another 400 gold for him. So he's playing this pretty safe, but still farming up very consistently. He hasn't really showed his face too often. Bottom lane, well, we're going to lose our Wraith King, a reincarnation. And I thought they might actually go for the secondary kill, but it doesn't look like the familiars are ready to drop just yet. Ice Path comes out, hits Beatus, but they certainly can't pursue, not up against MSS. Back to the top lane, Demon's going to go in. Tubby. Faking out the Ravage, now going to commit it just for that one hero. And Mirana is definitely done for. Blink, meanwhile, is going to try and teleport himself back to base.
Yeah, and they scared off the TP response there that might have been able to pick off Bleak. He was awfully low. I mean, I was not sure about committing the Ravage until I saw that TP get canceled, and now they're going to get a free kill, and they're probably going to get, again, you know, they just took down a tier 1 tower bottom. They're probably going to get this tier 1 tower top. And anytime you're able to force the action like this in 2 lanes at once at the 15-minute mark, it's a good thing for your chances, that's for sure.
Haystern going to be found by Jimmy. He's already got himself another 1,900 gold. Looks like they're going to give that Haystern to MSS, who also has an empty bottle. A quick little 4-staff for him. MSS already has the Yule Scepter and can start building into, I would almost say, like, just, he's got enough mobility. You could probably go out without a TP scroll, in which case you can get that naked vitality booster and just give yourself a lot of extra HP, which at this point early on into the game makes sure that you don't get popped by the Meepo if you're in a bad position.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea. At the same time, I can't hold it any longer, Cap. I just hate this choice by Tubby the Fat to go Midas in this match. Oh, Pandego very narrowly dodges an arrow there. But, yeah, just to me, he's going to follow it up, it looks like, with a Yasha or Diffusal. Either of those, probably the standard Yasha.
MSS in a bad position now. Teleported in. They're going to be able to catch him out with the stun. At the same time, looks like Meepo's going to be picked off here. He's going to be going down. The Meepo actually gets half of his units down to the bottom lane. MSS still going to be caught, though. Yule Scepter or no, he's going to be surrounded by three heroes and taken down. So his attempt to teleport to the bottom lane and get the deny on the tower leaves him exposed, and he does die. I would almost say well worth it for Root there, as they may have lost the Meepo, and that really sucks, but he's got a lower death timer. He already finished up the Aghanims, and they got a very high priority kill in the Death Prophet.
No, I mean, that's the thing, that death timer change to Meepo really was important. Oh, Tubby the Fat might give up another kill here. And again, the importance of those kinds of pickoffs is magnified because he got the Midas.
For sure. He is just not getting any growth whatsoever. And Gerg squad are just routinely picking off heroes. I mean, they lost the Death Prophet, but they're gaining so much more. They're taking control of the enemy side of the map. They're beginning to push down these towers. In fact, I would expect them to fully push down a tower here in the middle lane now. as they haven't actually taken one of these tier 2s just yet, despite the fact that their 5-man is far superior to Root Gaming. And they do have to kind of worry about the Blink Dagger for Lycus. I mean, that's going to be coming up here soon. It's not far off. And we saw how that turned around our game from earlier. Tolera, oh, silence goes off. Bleak still looking to be able to hit the Love Stomp, and the double edge lands, meaning mega kill streak now for Bleak.
That's such a tough game for Tolera on puck. You really got to feel for him here because, again, it's not necessarily his fault as much as it was the lane situation. But, you know, to be still 500 away from your Blink Dagger at 19 minutes on a puck, just so limiting in terms of what you can do. Again, just completely different universe, him compared to the Tide.
Demon is another Invis-rune. I don't know how he keeps finding them on this Tide banner.
It's Jimmy, man, of course.
He's following this Meepo around, making sure there's going to be no interception to this middle tier 2 tower going down. And Root will be just giving it up, which is probably for the best. But they also know Lycus is somewhere in this bottom lane area. They maybe could have caught him out doing the Ancients, but apparently not. Instead, they're just going to go into the enemy jungle and probably rotate up to the top lane and take yet another tier 2.
Yeah, I mean, at some point, though, you got to remember, at some point, killing that Meepo is not the best use of your time, right? I mean, at some point, it's more important just to keep putting that pressure on the map because Meepo does have that reduced death timer. You're not going to really fully shut down his farm at this point in the game when he's already got the 3 clones up from his Ag Scepter. I mean, I actually agree with what they're doing. Forget picking off the Meepo. Keep pushing towers. Park your butts out in front of their base and never leave. That's the best way to shut down Meepo right now.
Yeah, and I think Roots are doing the best thing for them, which is avoiding
Agreed.
the team fights and going for split push. And if they show themselves up at the top lane, that's fine. We'll take a middle tier 1 tower. Even if it isn't an even trade for you, it at least gets the Meepo that much closer to the Blink Dagger, which is where you have a lot more fighting power.
Yeah, you got to get something now. This is awfully ballsy by Jimmy here, positioning himself to potentially initiate on mid. He's only got one other hero in Bleak, even close.
Yeah, they do have several Blink Daggers coming up. So the Wraith King finished off his, the Puck got his as well, and the Meepo is about to get his here in just 30 seconds. So that does provide a really big change, and I like the way Bangfish is even split pushing down the bottom lane, though. What is he doing without a teleport?
I have no good answer to that question. No, but this is their time. This is Root's time to shine here. If they have a chance of taking a fight in the game, it is right now. You have the chance to take Gerg by surprise here with a Blink Dagger. I still can't believe I'm saying that.
Go sell Lycus, go sell that TP scroll and pick up a Blink Dagger, man. You are going to need that kind of initiation as the tier 3 tower is going to fall soon here. They've already claimed the tier 2 in the bottom lane. Tolera gets the initiation here with the Dream Coil, but instantly taken out. And we still have yet to see the Ravage come out. Demon positioning himself, still holding on to it. It's going to lead Beatus to die first, then pops the Ravage. Lycus going to be in some trouble. He gets popped. Reincarnation comes back. Flying Zebra is ready to go now. Tubby the Fat gets silenced up. MSS finishes off that Jakiro with the Crypt Swarm. Throws up the Mirana in the air. Follow-up silence. It's another Crypt Swarm, but he's really too far out here. As the teleport in from the Meepo comes in, mass poofs. Not going to be able to catch out anybody, but at least the net will be able to get Pandago. They only get 1 kill there in exchange for at least a buyback on the Meepo, another buyback on the Jakiro as well. So definitely a great fight there for the Gerg squad, who also claim a tier 3 tower on top of all of that.
Yeah, for sure. And you can see kind of in that fight how this Root combo is supposed to work. You know, the problem is that by the time you get your initiation items up, you've given up such a gold lead that your puck gets a nice initiation and just gets burst down instantly. I mean, that's kind of the problem with these team fight lineups, that if your combo is late, and in this game theirs is very late coming online, a lot of times you hit those spells perfectly and you're still not going to win the fight.
Yep, now that leaves us to Root Gaming, who are going to be having some issues here. As
this is the hope, though. They need this. They
Yeah, they
absolutely have to have it.
They certainly do need an Aegis very, very badly. That's the only way they're going to be able to come back into this game, in my mind, is drawing out this game. But even if we do draw out this game, I'm looking at this net worth and going, man, this could go for another 20 minutes. But if you continue with this kind of lead, over a 12,000 gold lead, at 23 minutes in and 10,000 experience lead. Like, for example, the Centaur. We've seen how powerful the Centaur is with that return damage. How's the Meepo supposed to target him when he's already got a Reaver so early on into the game and can actually afford a Vitality booster as well?
Well, it's not necessarily as big a deal for the Meepo as it is for the Drow Ranger earlier, because Meepo is just not going to be nearly as squishy in the late game, and Meepo also has armor items in his natural progression. That was the big thing I felt like the Drow Ranger was missing in our earlier game today, was some armor to mitigate that return damage, which is physical.
All right, well, looks like we're going to go right back to a push in the top lane. Seems like they don't seem to care too much about the Aegis pickup on the Meepo, especially if they could get a pick off on Bankfish and possibly even more. Exorcism already going out. Tubby will leap himself away, and the Exorcism, they got to fast push this one in if they want to make use of the Exorcism. Demon just running in, smacking Tubby on the ass once.
Yeah, I mean, once again, I don't think that this is Bangfish's fault in this match. I really don't. I think this was a draft.
Oh, they're going to jump on Lycus, trying to blow him up. The Skywrath Mage even going down. Lycus will eventually go down. It's Blueberry now force-staffs himself onto Tubby. He will lose his fight. Now here comes his Aegis. There goes the Ravage, though.
Perfect.
They're going to try and blow up Lycus once again. He's already down to half health on one of his Meepos. Slow down the Gush, targeting him, and with that extra bit of nuke damage, will be able to finish him off. They may not have an Exorcism anymore, but it doesn't seem to matter. With the Meepo down, they may have enough. Dual Scepter onto the Buck. Arrow goes out. MSS going to be stunned for a while there, but I'm not sure if that's hero they really should be targeting. He is so damn tanky. Root backing themselves up. As another nuke comes out on Flying Zebra, looks like it's going to be at least the range tracks going down, and Gerg from here will back themselves up. The pursuit here from Root to Flying Zebra is going to lose his life. He's had no more reincarnation left. And Root, actually in that pursuit, actually lose a lot more ground. Reinitiation there from the puck, jumps in, and out back out as Pandago's trying and silence him up. They will be able to finish off the puck. Now turning on Bankfish as well with the Familiars, trying to lock him down. Tubby, meanwhile, has been silenced on the side. Don't have any vision for him, and they should be backing up here as the Meepo is going to be coming up. They can't afford to be caught. Beat gets hit by the arrow, force-staffed out, and now has to run himself away from Lycus, but here comes the poof. We'll be able to finish off that one. Pandago's going to be up next. He doesn't have a force-staff just yet. The ensnare not catching him. He has a force-staff up in 5 seconds. Looks like he will be fine. Reinitiation now. The Centaur's going to come in. Pops Tubby the Fat at least. And the Chikiro also going down. Meepo's going to be silenced up. Not much he can do up against that Death Prophet for the time being. And now the Yule Scepter going down. Pandago going to be hit by the stun. Flying Zebra does have a reincarnation up. Lycus stunned up even further. Going to pop Flying Zebra. That goes that reincarnation. Lycus maybe looking for a reinitiation here. Quick blink away. Is going to be able to get the Death Prophet. Reinitiation once again from the puck. Managed to orb himself away just in time, getting low. As the Ghosts pursue him, here comes Lycus with all that extra damage, but it's not going to be enough. There goes a Refresher, a secondary Ravage. Demon's going to be able to take down the rest of Root. And the extended team fight just keeps on going. And Gerg remained victorious every step of the way.
Yeah, I mean, this is just what you see so often, right? Extended engagements are almost always going to favor the team that's ahead, and Gerg just able to camp Root's base, and you know they had the short respawn timers. I actually thought Lycus played that last couple of fights really well on his Meepo, but they had just given up too much before that point and were not able to hold off the pressure from Gerg. But we do have a game 2 coming up. Root is going to have one more